Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is absolutely incredible to be with you guys today. We get to talk Niners, man. I know it's a little negative out there, and I'm sure this podcast is going to tip a little bit into that. Hopefully not too much. But, man, we got 49ers football in just a couple of days. And, yeah, I know there's a lot of players injured. Yeah, it's just kind of what it is. But, man, there's so many positives to focus on and talk about. We're going to focus on some of those things. We're going to focus on some negative things. But I want today to be a little bit of a conversation around the offensive line. I feel like, I always try to grab a little bit of a pulse of what the community / fandom is focusing on and what the frustration is and talk about those things, positive and negative. And I hope that whenever you walk away from today, episodes 1,217, good Lord, hopefully whenever you walk away from today's show, you're a little bit more excited about this game. That's the goal. I don't know if we're going to achieve it, and we'll see. But, if you got comments, questions, I want you to jump in there. It's going to be a little bit of a clip-heavy show because when Chris Forster, the offensive line coach of the 49ers, talks, you just listen, and it's just like, where are you taking us, big dog? Like, where are we going in this rabbit hole? And we're going all over places. So we're going to talk 2015 49ers, that's darkness. We're going to talk 2024 49ers, and we're going to look at those things. And judging by the first comment, observe, he says, 7 years in, still the same issues. Keep your stuff together, Shanahan. No more excuses. I don't know. I feel like it's been a really good 7 years. Yeah, we haven't won the championship, but we're by far the second most winning team in the NFL during that period. So I feel like it's a lot of positives, but yes, 100% there are some commonalities behind this year and lots of years. And it is just one game, so we don't want to overreact, but there are some trends. There's no doubt. What's up? Appreciate all the hashtag CCs. Kevin, Don, Jimmy. What's up, Darren? My man, Darren 808. Had such a cool time hanging out this past weekend, man. You guys are the absolute best. Jimmy, Alejandro, you guys are awesome. Bobo, we are definitely not as good as we think we are. I don't know about that. Right now, the Niners are kind of playing with a little bit of hand tied behind your back. But this is kind of who the 49ers have been, even in the winning years. You're not trying to peak week 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you're wanting to win every single game you ever put the pads on. You want to win every single play that you go out there. No doubt about that. But this offseason was weird. We only have weird off seasons, I know. I don't know. It's a trajectory-based new DC first-time play caller. That's probably been the biggest issue, I would argue. Like, the defense is definitely behind the 8 ball. The offense, I know somebody's sitting there screaming, man, we scored 17 points. It had 70 plays. Yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue, too. Don't disagree with you there. I think the offensive line conversation will address a lot of that. But at the same time, and again, this is just like a snapshot, right? And again, Pro Football Focus, a lot of issues, no doubt about that. Special teams were 20th. I think we're worse than 20th, but all right. Defense were 7th. All right. Offense were 3rd. Overall, we're 4th. From a snap-by-snap analytics basis, I think that's where the 49ers are. You're 1-1. Teams don't go undefeated anymore. That's not what it is. So we'll see. This conversation hopefully will help with that. JD, my man, says, glad to catch you live. It's been a while since I've been able to. I'm trying to spice up the times just a little bit. If I had it my way, I'm like football coach, regimented, wake up every single day at this time, eat the exact same breakfast at this time. I'm on shakes now, which I don't like that. Drink this much coffee with this much creamer, go live at this time. That's who I am, right? But I'm learning, man, just breathe a little bit, allow things to flow a little bit. It's okay to spend an extra hour one morning in film or an extra 30 minutes or something, just relaxing a little bit, chilling with the dog or whatever. Like, so I'm trying to, I don't know, relax a little bit, be a little bit more Matthew McConaughey, maybe. Anyway, Kevin, strategic rest week after looking at the opponent. I think so too. And he's talking about George Kittle and Charvarius Ward not practicing yesterday. So Thursday did not practice, DNPs. After a Wednesday practice and after a game where there was no injury issues, at least that's what Kyle said, then Debo's going to miss 2 weeks. Like, it's just weird. But if we're talking about the Shanahan experience, this has been standard operating, procedure since Shanahan showed up. You can't trust that man or John Lynch whenever they talk about injuries, ever, ever, ever. I've been here. This is weird. I started this podcast before they got hired. Briefly, this is who they have been. In 2017, this is who they were. 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, now 24. Whenever I say all those years independently, I feel a little old. It's like that GIF, the Matt Damon GIF in Saving Private Ryan, whenever he's overlooking Tom Hanks, right? And then he just like ages to like that just happened. I don't think it came across on the film, but good Lord, that's how I felt. Sid, appreciate you. Thank you so much for being in the chat. And my man, Eric, what's up, man? He says, thought it was a White Sox. No, this is one of the Trent ones, I think. The Trent Williams residency hat. Use code SFBreezy, residency.com. Sport Wayne. Always, 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 always. Anyway, yeah, no, I love this hat, man. I'm rocking the freaking Lake Tahoe shirt. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I got all my Northern California. I know Tahoe's not, well, I guess part of it's in California, but like I'm feeling the NorCal vibes today, which I don't always, but it's cloudy outside. I'm feeling it. Bobo, my man, is the wide back experiment over? Because it seems like the league figured it out. I think that you have to get into tendencies, get exposed. Shanahan is a tendency dependent and breaker at the same time. Like, that's probably one of the best things that Shanahan does. It's like, okay, let's boil it down. Outside zone. Daddy Shanahan, kid Shanahan, the whole 1/4 of the NFL now. Outside zone is the staple, okay? The reason why outside zone works, it is so different than most running plays, is there's 6 options off the outside zone. So the plays look the same. The running back can hit outside the tight end, outside the wide receiver blocking, outside the tackle, outside the guard, outside the center, or that backside B cutback. Like, it's one play call. It looks the same all the time, and you're registering how the defense over pursues, under pursues. Those are your options. Then you go off the boot on that. Then you go after the tight end leak, flood routes, all these different things. So you establish a tendency. The defense responds. The way in which they respond, you find the vulnerability by them overcorrecting to what you're calling, right? This is what makes Shanahan, in the Shanahan scheme, what it is. The wide back situation, putting Debo in there, the adjustment has been, we're going to run them inside some. That's what we saw in week 1. Didn't see too much of that in week 2. They were all outside runs and got stuffed. A lot of that is Brian Flores. Their safeties are freaking hawks, and they played that accordingly. I don't think the wide back situation's done. I do believe, I do like you, Bobo, want Debo to stay and focus on receiver. I want to throw the ball to Debo out of the backfield. My favorite thing, which we haven't seen this year, is when Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel are in the backfield together and they both flare, the linebackers or safeties have to go to the flats. That opens up the middle of the field. You keep your linebackers or safeties in the middle. You flare. You just dump off to CMC in the flat on the left, Debo to the flat on the right. If not, you got George Kittle in the middle. You got whatever you want out there. So that's my favorite. That's been tossed out. Now, we did some twister formation or 2-back formations, but it was Kyle Juszczyk and George Kittle. Neither one of those are running threats. Yeah, they're passing threats, but not CMC Debo. I love those two guys, but like, it's just different. You have to have the establishment of a threat in the run game. With Debo, you have that. With CMC, you have that. Now, can you do some of that without CMC and Debo? Probably not. You got to trust, Christian McCaffrey, or you got to trust Jordan Mason to be out there. He has been. What's up, Mike? My man. Aaron Rodriguez, appreciate you. He says, John, the consistent Chapman, #CC. Hey, I'm nothing if not consistent. I try not to change too much. I try not to. Shane, appreciate you, man. He says, staying positive this week. We got Huff back. BA is going to ball out. It's time. Let's go. I love that. The fact that Talanoa Hufanga comes back is huge. Now, probably one of my biggest takeaways on tape defensively. One, this is a little bit off topic, but I want to lead with a positive. Very unimpressed with Sorensen and early on. It's early, but very positive. He stopped stunting at the half. I'm pretty sure the players told him, like, dude, can we stop stunting so much on the D-line? It's not working. Leonard Floyd got like pancaked like 4 or 5 times in the first half. Second half, they come out. They stop stunting. They just let the 4 go, and it worked very, very well. Way more pressure, way more sacks. Like, maybe not way more sacks, but it worked. It helped tremendously. So that was huge. So I love the fact that, man, there was an adjustment, because whenever I do my film breakdowns for the 49ersrush.com and our Patreon channel, I do them by halves. Otherwise, the videos can be 2.5 hours long, whatever else. So I break them down first half, second half. So I just finished the second half. That's loading on YouTube now. When this show's over, I'll post those if it's done loading. It takes a long time. But yeah, I loved walking away just seeing like, okay, cool. This was an adjustment that I liked. Still did way too much cover 1. I didn't like that. But having Hufanga back there, that's going to be huge. The biggest issue, there's several. One of the biggest issues was Malik Mustafa. He was not ready to play 31 snaps like he did. The best safety we had play week 2 was Odom. He was the best. Was he great? No. But he was at least making some positive plays. He had 2 to 3 pass breakups, was active in the run game. Jair Brown, worst game he's had in his career, collectively bad. I mean, he was bad first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. The first play that Jair Brown made was halfway through the fourth quarter. And it was like, oh, there's 27. I remember that guy. Well, they put in Malik Mustafa and pulled George Odom. Malik wasn't ready. He could not diagnose a play to save his life. And I love Malik. He's one of my favorite draft picks. I think he was my number 1 favorite like value pick that we had in our draft this year, which is a great draft class. Malik wasn't ready. That dude was wide-eyed, slow to respond, confused out there a lot. It just sat. Like, he was very, very late. Now, you're taking that out and you're putting in Hufanga, who is the opposite. Now, how will Hufanga respond? What's that going to look like coming off the injury? Those are legitimate questions, right? But you got to talk about just like how great of a man that dude is. And again, I'm going to go back to this, and I keep playing this clip pretty much every damn episode. Fred Warner, what needs to change?
It just hurts my soul, honestly, because we knew exactly the type of game that it was going to be, what was going to be required for us to win this game. And I told the team in there, it's never going to be an issue of us playing hard. We always play hard. We got so much talent in that room. We're always going to play hard, but it's about playing smarter. You know, we gotta protect the football. Obviously, we got to take it away on defense. Special teams, we can't give up that block punt. And then defensively, you know, the game plan, when we say we got to stop the run and we got to be great on third down and we don't do either of those things, like, it's going to be a long day. Too many my bads, too many, man, I'll try to be better next time, and me included. Like, I'm thinking of the plays that I wanted back in this game. Like I said, we got to play more together as a team. We just got to do our job, play smarter football, and the rest will take care of itself because we are talented. We do play hard. We just got to play smarter.
And so, like, right, if intelligence had played smarter, gosh, Charvarius Ward had like 4 or 5 blown assignments. Jair Brown had 4 or 5 blown assignments. MAs is what the 49ers missed assignments. Odom had 1 or 2. Malik had maybe 6 or 7. They were bad. So now you're inserting Huff, whose instincts, play recognition, level 10 in the NFL. So I'm pretty excited about that. What's up, Joe? Palomalu Hufangu. That is Hufanga. I love that. It makes me happy and sticking with the things I can't pronounce. What's up, Captain Jason? Talofa faithful. I don't know what Talofa means. I'm sure it's something positive. If it's Cap Jason, he's like one of the nicest people in the world. Observe, thank you, man. He says, hit that like button in all caps with an expletive. That is awesome. Slick 68, man. Bold prediction. Renardo Green, pick 6 to set the tone. Dub City, Fred Warner voice. Oh, I missed that. That came in late. Let's go, Niners. I love that, man. Slick, I appreciate the super chat, the support, the positivity. Renardo Green played well. He didn't play a lot. I think he had like 6 snaps. Is that right? Let's see here. Oh, here we go. I got to go to this. But the fact that, and I talked about this on Ant's show, the coaching, the coach approach. That's what we're calling the show. It was like 96% won that one. But yeah, right here. Where's my man at? Renardo Green played 4 snaps. They were good. 4 coverage snaps. First play of the game, he goes in, has to cover Justin Jefferson. It was awesome. He played really, really well. Like, I was very, very pleased. He rose to the occasion and was ready. 4 snaps, not a lot, but he looked the part. The other rookie, Malik, did not look the part. Did not. And I said this all through training camp and all through preseason. He's not ready. His flash plays are great. Angles are terrible. Run, gap responsibility, terrible. He's late to respond. When he responds, he's incredible. So you just got to speed up, the engine upstairs, and he'll be fine. He's just not there yet. Now, do I think Renardo Green's going to be playing? I think he'll get sprinkled in this week. It's a good week for him, but I do think Charvarius Ward's playing. I do think George Kittle's playing too. Now, that's just John Chapman mumbo jumbo. You take that for whatever it is you want or don't want. I think it's kind of like one of those rest things. The fact that they practiced fully, both of them on Wednesday, got Thursday off. They'll both be questionable. No doubt about that. But I feel confident. Renardo Green, I'm not concerned about. I mean, shoot, Charvarius Ward had 4 or 5 missed assignments anyway. Now you're playing 2 of the fastest wide receivers in the NFL, Justin Jefferson and Naylor. Then you go to the Rams, DeMarcus Robinson, Jordan Whittington. Big difference. I'm fine with Renardo Green playing. And I like the fact that he has earned that role as, stepping in. I think our 2 wide receivers would be Demo and Isaac Yiadom. If Charvarius Ward's out, then we go nickel. Renardo Green comes in. You kick in Deommodore Lenoir. I think that's what the Niners are going to do. Now, at tight end, let's talk about this. Next man up. That's just what it is. So let's go to Brock, the all shucks, what his thoughts are on Eric Saubert, who's been pretty freaking awesome so far. And then Jake Tonjes.
I think Saubert has done a great job just coming in and doing his job well and knowing what our offense is, where his landmarks are supposed to be as a route runner. And then in the run game, he does a great job for our guys. And so he did a great job towards the end of the game, 2-minute drill. He was right where he needed to be and caught a couple, crucial catches and stuff. So, and he's got experience. He's played for a while now. So for me as a quarterback, it gives me some comfort knowing that he's been in those situations and he's willing to, understand what we're trying to do and then execute in the heat of the moment. So, and then Jake Tonjes, man, just seeing his progression from even last year till now of knowing our offense and being where he needs to be. And he's a smooth route runner. He's got great hands. So I'm excited for him and his opportunity, man. He's had a great camp and whenever his number's been called upon at practice or in some preseason games, I think he's done a great job. So I'm excited for both of them.
There we go. I like that. And shout out to Captain and Kia. I love how many Samoan, French, Pacific Islanders. I don't know all the correct terminology, so I'm sorry for my ignorance, but correct me. It means hello in Samoan. That's what we're saying. Talofa. That means hello. So thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are incredible, and I love you guys. And hello right back. Now, talking about tight ends, Eric Saubert's good. He's played 45 snaps, so not a lot, but we've only had 142 total. He's played 45. He's got a 68.8 grade. That's positive. Is he George Kittle? No. George Kittle is George Kittle. He's the best tight end in football, has been for the last 4 years. Go argue with the wall. Look what he does in the run game. Please ask Travis Kelce to do that one time. Let's see how it goes. Travis Kelce, decent blocker, but he's not a move blocker. He's a get-in-the-way guy. Eric Saubert's been great. And his highest grade is actually in the passing game with the 78.7. We saw that in the fourth quarter 2-minute drill, which Brock talked about, where, man, He paints his numbers to the quarterback. He runs his route. He finds his soft spot in zones, turns up. He catches. He's got good hands. He's just not going to do all the after the catch stuff. He'll secure the catch. Contested catch is not really an issue. It's just once he catches, he's down. He's not a yak type of guy. Tonjes, he's played 2 snaps. Didn't do great at either one of those. But he can play up, and he's consistent. He can kind of do a little bit of everything. And if for some reason Kittle can't go, I do think you elevate Braden Willis. He would be your number 3, but we'll see. Again, I fully expect Kittle to play. I really, really do. Sonia says, Bosa is played, right? Yeah, he's got a rib issue. The fact that he came back and played after he got kind of bent all weird. Yeah, Bosa's playing. Bosa will play. Bosa's got a little bit of that CMC in him where he's like, I don't ever want to come out of the game. Ever, ever, ever. Like, it doesn't matter if we're up 3 scores or 2 scores like the Jets with 1 minute left. He's still out there. It doesn't matter. Nick Bosa has played 94 snaps of 105. That's pretty insane considering he got folded up on and was injured and scared, all that, and went right back out there 1 play later. Like, Bosa's playing. That dude, that's more of workload management. Like, look, and he was still out there limited. It's just his ribs were sore, bruised ribs. And if you've ever had bruised ribs, you know life sucks. Everything sucks. Breathing, sneezing, coughing, sleeping, eating, all difficult to do. But it's a pain management issue. You play through it. It hurts. It hurts bad. But yeah, that's what that is. John, why do you think Kittle will play? Do you not think Brock talking about backups getting their shot implies George is out? No, I think, dude, I do believe Kittle's going to play. And again, I'm not an insider. I have no inside information, nor do I ever want one. I've had people and agents and players message me, and I tell them, thank you so much. And I appreciate that. I'm not this guy. There's lots of people that are those guys, and I appreciate what they do and all that. I'm a fan. I want to party with faithful. That's really all I am. I get on here and talk because I'm a former coach, and I watch every single play on tape, and I want to share that experience. I don't want to be an insider. If somebody offered me Ian Rappaport's job, I would happily just say, I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. There's lots of people that my passion is not that. I do not want exclusive information and be told what to put out. It's just not fun to me. That life sounds like hell. And I get why Woj walked away. Like, I totally understand that. But anyway, so I think Kittle's going to play because whenever he got hurt, he came back into the game because he practiced fully Wednesday, because he's George Kittle, and because this is against the Rams. That's why I think he will play. Will it be a 100% whatever? And whenever Brock is talking about a shot, the question was, can you talk about Eric Saubert and Jake Tonjes? That was the question to Brock. So he talked about them. And guess what? When Kittle's out of practice, those guys take all of his reps. So they are getting their shot in practice. And in the games where Kittle has missed snaps, just like week 2, they responded accordingly. They responded well. So that's why I think that, George. Again, that's just my opinion. Take that for whatever it is you want to do. You trash it, whatever. I don't care. Which takes us to this. Observe. Pass-heavy play calling is beyond stupidity. Run the ball, then pass. I am with you. And tomorrow, I'm still working through the scouting report and predictions and all that stuff episode. That's going to go tomorrow morning. I'm with you. We should run the ball more. I don't like predictable runs. And again, like if I've called plays before. I believe in passing on first down, running on second down, running on third down. If I could do that and script out like my plays, those are my tendency breakers. I want to pass from a run set first down. I want to run from a pass set second down. Like that's just who I am. Those are my natures. Like, this is the way people guard things. This is what I want to do. So yes, you need to run the ball more. And if you could promise me we run the ball 32 times against the Rams, that's a guaranteed win. 32 is my magic number this week. It's going to be an ugly-ass game. It's division. Both teams are beating up, injuries everywhere. It's going to be ugly. In this game, probably more than any other one, observe, I want to run. Oh my gosh, look at this comment. I had it highlighted. Destoic says, I've been here since the simulcast days. Man, those were fun. Way back on a hot mic, I think is what it was called, till we got our cease and desist letter from the NFL. It was the first of a few other ones. They just keep coming. That's okay. We love the NFL. We love the 49ers, even if they don't support us. That's okay. We love them. You create a community. We're going to support it. We're going to support it. Eric, he says, do we know what week we're getting Greenlaw back? Ooh, November is kind of the time. So we have our bye week, which is week 9. That's the 1st of November. Okay. Then we've got the Bucks at Tampa Bay. That's November 10th. Seattle, November 17th, week 11. There it is. Home against Seattle. Could be for the division. Dre Greenlaw, the Hawk Slayer, CEO of Seattle, whatever you want to call him. Week 11. When did Hufanga come back? He was cleared long time ago. And I kept telling y'all, he's coming back week 3. He's coming back against the Rams. He's coming back first division game. I told you. And not that, oh, I'm right. Rah, 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 rah. No. I understand the way the 49ers think. I understand that division. That's just all coaches do. District games in high school is what it is. Conference games in college. Division games in the NFL. That's how you get to the playoffs, the championship, whatever you want to call it. So the best situation would be to get Dre Greenlaw back week 11, November 17th, at home versus Seattle. And I will be there with my Dre Greenlaw jersey on. It's on ice right now, just like Dre is. That's when we should get Greenlaw back. I hope, that is a hope, I hope that's where we're going to get him back. Right here, Mike, he says, man, I was baffled by starting with 3 passes. Yeah, that was bad to start the game. And again, the whole thing was Shanahan trying to get Brandon Ayuk involved. Brandon Ayuk was the primary read on all 3 of the first 3 plays against the Vikings. Blanketed first play, quick out for 2 yards on the second play, blanketed on the third play. 3 and out. That's the way it went. I love the fact that you tried to get BA involved. BA didn't answer the call early. And I know Kyle Shanahan went on KNBR and everybody's talking about, oh, man, BA's great. We're going to be great. We're going to be great. I sure as hell hope so. But I'm telling you, they made a I can't say that. They made a concerted effort. There we go. I'll switch the word up. To get BA to be a mainstay in the 49ers plan early. BA laid an egg. I don't care. Talk about separation. Cool. Talk about his blocking. Cool. They tried to. It resulted in bad performance, 3 and out, and then they started to look elsewhere. They didn't go back to him until probably the third quarter. He didn't answer until late in the third quarter. BA's great. I have all the confidence in the world in him, but I also have the film and have that, and it's very clear BA started slow. And the history of Brandon Ayuk has been when Debo's out, that dude can't be a primary guy. I really, really hope that narrative gets absolutely destroyed these next 2 weeks. You have to have Ayuk go out there. He hasn't done it yet. But I'm excited. And so we'll see. Oh, right here, Eric. So he's going to be back for your rush road trip to Buffalo. Let's go. Yes, that is correct. Because Buffalo, that's week 13. So we will be there for that one. I can't wait. We're going to be partying right next to the Bills Mafia. We're doing like a joint tailgate with those guys. It's going to be incredible. And man, if you guys have not come out yet to one of our events, I don't know what y'all got going on. 49ers Rush Road Trip, we don't play around.
Going to 49ers games is awesome. But what's even better than that is going to 49ers games with the faithful, joining the community. And we got you covered. The 49ers Rush Road Trip is going into its 4th year of bringing the faithful together. Night before parties, tailgates the day of. We got you covered. Go get your tickets at 49ersrushroadtrip.com.
always kid friendly. We had such a good time. Here's a picture just from, this last week up in Minnesota. We had a great time. And we still got 4 main road trips that we're doing. Seattle week 6, Tampa Bay week 10 is going to be a juggernaut. Buffalo week 13, bucket list item for me. And then week 18, Arizona, hanging out with the Arizona chapter. They're just about as good as they get. Absolutely incredible. So that's the Rush Road Trip. I hope you guys come out, have a good time with us. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Go check it out. Yeah, that's what it is. Come have a good time. Yeah, Eric, you set the segment up, man. I appreciate you, brother. I'm doing great, Rick. I'm doing great. So let's talk now. Let's talk O-line. Now, the offensive line, it's doing okay. I don't know how to put that. Okay, if I look at, again, just starting the conversation off with what the ranking is. If we look at the pass block rankings on PFF, the 49ers are 16th. They're tied right in the middle of the average. They are literally average. That's what they are. You look at run blocking, we're 5th. That's a Shanahan staple. So from that aspect, you're not too upset. And I understand all the pressures, the sacks, 6 sacks, that's a lot. Everybody's upset at Colton McKivitz. I think that's incorrect. Here is a little bit of a lengthy clip, but this is Chris Forster, the man. I love it whenever he talks. He's so great. Just explaining about the offensive line and why it is and why it isn't all on them.
How did you guys kind of focus on adjustments?
About how much they killed our quarterback? Is that what the question is? No, there were too many pressures. Anytime, and this is, believe me, you guys know, we've got to do a better job. I say that whether we win a lot or lose, we've got to do a better job up front. Anytime there's that many sacks in a game, usually there's a lot to go around. The passing game starts and ends with, obviously, the offensive line has to do their part. Running backs and tight ends have to do their part. It's just as much a product of the pass game, where are we at the running the right routes to the right depths? Is the quarterback able to make the right reads? Is he making the right reads? Is he throwing the ball in time? If he doesn't do those things, if the ball isn't coming out, if the line isn't protecting, then it just adds one more layer. So let's say Brock misses a read. I'm not saying how many he did or didn't. I'm not going to go into all that. But let's say he misses a read. He goes, oh, I should have gone. He goes back there. Well, that's that second hitch. And then all of a sudden, hey, Pooney's a little loose. Or McKivitz says, if you'd thrown the ball on time, nobody would have even noticed the play. But he holds a little bit longer. The receiver busts a route, or it's a hot, and we miss the hot. Or and then there's the line. And then we had a play in the game where George released through the line of scrimmage and picked Jake Brendel, and a guy looped around him. The guy that Jake was supposed to block couldn't block him because George was between him, and it just happens. It's football. There was a lot of that going on. Some was a product of the Vikings. They're a really good defensive front. They do an excellent job of prepping how to rush a quarterback and to get after you. And some of it was us. Some was the crowd noise. No excuses. We've got to do a better job. We've handled noise better. We've handled rush fronts like these guys better. We've been sharper, but we weren't sharp overall in the passing game. Starts and ends with the offensive line. We got to do a better job, 100%. I'm glad you brought it up.
So, okay, it's a much more holistic view, right? I think everybody understands that. It's not just this guy versus that guy. Brock's been sacked 8 times this year. 8 times. That's a lot of times. Now, you pull up PFF and you look at, the entire season, it's 2 games. There's only 2 sacks accredited to offensive linemen. One's on Trent Williams. One's on Aaron Banks. That's it. Well, hold on. There's 6 unaccounted for sacks. One of those plays, Eric Saubert, who, all right, might get some more play time this week, fell down on a hot route read. He was running a tight end seam. He had open. Brock Purdy goes to throw. Eric Saubert just trips over the 30-yard line. Brock Purdy has to pull it down, takes a sack. That's not on the offensive line. There was an unblocked defender coming. So whenever you bring 5 guys, that is supposed to be accounted for by the offensive line and the pass protecting back. That has been accounted for. Whenever they bring 6, one more than you're blocking with, that's on the quarterback. That is on the quarterback. A lot of these sacks are because Brock Purdy is holding the ball forever. 2.9 seconds to be exact is his average time to throw. That's long. If you watch our breakdowns and whenever there's a sack play, I count it down. 1,001, 1,002, ball needs to be out. You get that ball out in 2.5 seconds, you're golden most of the time. 2.9 seconds, That 4/10, that's where damage happens. Now, does that mean the rest are on Brock Purdy? No, but a lot of them are. And when the wide receivers aren't getting open, like I just told you, those first 3 plays, Ayuk was the primary receiver. 2 out of 3 completely blanketed. All right, I'm watching Ayuk. Okay, okay, now I got to go over here. And whenever you've got multiple guys not getting separation, it's an issue. It's a major, major issue. That's just what it is. And so the offensive line, like, okay, Colton McKivitz has given up 8 pressures. That's terrible. That is terrible. I'm not here to say Colton McKivitz is a great pass protector. He's not. He's a great run blocker. He's decent. He hasn't given up 1 sack. Yeah, the hurries count, and yeah, that's an issue. I understand all those things. But when Trent Williams has given up more sacks than Colton McKivitz, I don't know. But again, to be fair, let's counteract that. Jake Brendel, he hasn't given up a sack either. He's been embarrassed, put on his rear end, I think 6 times this last game. Looked terrible. And right here, Sonia, thank you. The checkdowns have disappeared from our offense. CMC left, and Brock Purdy said, no more checkdowns. We're just not going to do that anymore. That's terrible. If you're in 2nd and 10 and you got a pass play, you check down and it's 3rd and 6, you got a chance. You take a sack, now it's 3rd and 14. That's not our offense. Maybe if our offense was playing against our defense on 3rd and long, we could convert, but we are not. And so whenever we have one of the worst 3rd and long offenses, and we have by far the worst 3rd and long defense, that's where the problems are going to be. And my overarching theme, my number one theme from this whole week, not playing complementary football. When the offense gets going, the defense lets up. When the defense is going freaking awesome, we get a punt blocked on special teams. Okay, defense, you got scored on. Let's go special teams offense. Debo runs it out 7 yards out of the backfield, and we start on the 8-yard line. Like, every single one of our 3 core units is crippling and negatively affecting the other 3. It's not complementary football. That's not how it's designed to go. Especially you add on the road, then you add the takeaways, then you add the special teams, then you add allowing 3rd and longs. Good Lord, how did we lose by 1 possession? Well, Sam Darnold, that's a big reason why. That game very easily could have been Rams versus Cardinals bad, where you lose 20-plus points. I think they lost by 30. Whatever. They suck. Same old sorry-ass Rams. I don't care about them. But yeah, efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, eliminating negative plays. Check the damn ball down. Mason should have 5 catches this game. I ain't going to bet it because Shanahan and Purdy haven't showed they're going to do it. But you've thrown twice to Jordan Mason this season. He's caught both of them. Both resulted in first downs. Is he CMC? Nobody is. Nobody is. Now, let's talk Jake Brendel. And I don't want to talk Jake Brendel, but Chris Forster talked Jake Brendel. So let's do it. The question was asked, why would you stay with Jake Brendel, who has been the worst player on the 49ers team for a very long time?
Well, first of all, he had a better game than he did the first game. Everybody did for the most part. Hard to believe.
I got to stop. I can't even make it through this clip. That may be true. That second game was so bad. I literally put a clip out there, and it just shows how – and it's just the first half. I only clipped the first half because I didn't want it to be – maybe I should have done the whole game. He was better the second game. He was awful the first game. He was terrible the second game. All right. I'm going to try to do it again. I'm going to try it out. It's 47 seconds. Here we go. Please, John Chapman, give me the strength. I got the strength. I'm going to make it through this whole clip.
Well, first of all, he had a better game than he did the first game. Everybody did for the most part. Hard to believe with the sack production and things like that. But we did take a step forward in a lot of ways. I think some of the bad plays stood out, and so that's it. Oh, he right now is he's a much better option. Quickness, intelligence, experience, one-on-one pass blocking ability to finish in the run game on the second level, his ability to snap off on double teams. I just listed off about 7 or 8 things there that are all he's better than Barch, he's better than Zakelj, he's better than Nugent, he's better than a lot of players as to why he was an alternate last year at the Pro Bowl level, because he does have a lot of those traits that do those things, and he's never perfect. There's like all of us, it's every year's different, and we got to work our way into this year and see. Maybe some of these issues that we've seen will stick around. Maybe they won't. We'll have to see.
I can't say any of those things are wrong because we haven't seen Zakelj, we haven't seen Barch, we haven't seen Drake Nugent. Drake Nugent's not an option. He needs time to develop. But I that might be true, that Jake Brendel is in fact better at all those things he just said than those other people, because we haven't seen it. The problem that I have is that the ceiling is so stinking low that if you look at week 2 and say that was a positive Jake Brendel game, or that it was better than week 1, and so that's why. Now I love Chris Forster. This could be the Chris Forster show, and I doubt he would ever want to whatever, but I would be that dude's co-host, and I would talk I would just listen forever because he's hilarious. Yeah, I love this. People are laughing at me, making fun of all this stuff. I love it. Look at Chad. He says, John is like, I can't even make it 2 seconds in. It's true, man. And yeah, Feliciano can't get back fast enough. And Jake Brendel can't get to the second level. He just can't say that. Whatever he said, that's whenever I was like, BS, man. Y'all couldn't hear me. I was like, BS. Whenever he said Jake Brendel could get to the second level and finish, I was just like, no, that is a lie. We have not seen it. We have not seen it. He can get to the second level where he's supposed to go all the time. That dude, I don't know. I'm trying my hardest not to make jokes about finishing. Deep breath. Let me take a drink of coffee real quick. I'm not a Jake Brendel fan. And I hate it that we just have not addressed the situation. Like everybody talks about tackle. I'm not concerned about tackle. I'm not concerned about guards. We have depth at guards. We really, really do. The issue is, and has been for 3 consecutive years, center. And you've brought in 0 centers. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. I'll never understand why. And people are like, well, he trusts veterans, whatever else. Well, if you would have drafted a center in the 4th or 5th round 3 years ago and developed them, then maybe they could be here. And somebody say, well, that's what Nick Zakelj was. Nick Zakelj was a left tackle. Anyway. Deep breaths. We're all okay. We're all okay. Everybody's doing great. Now, I want to jump backwards now and talk some O-line, which I'm super excited about because this, again, we're staying on this Forrester, whatever trade it is, and we're going to talk 2015 Niners. I know somebody just threw up in their mouth, rightfully so, but I want to explain why it was so bad. Why it was so bad. Now, before we do, man, if you're betting the Niners this week, currently negative 6.5 points. The Niners are favorite 6.5. So if you think the 49ers are going to win by a field goal or more, and you want to bet that, which I do think the Niners will cover this week. I know it's been rough, but the Rams are rougher. I don't think that's a word. But if you are going to bet, here's how you do it.
You know football. You watch all the games. You know what's going to happen before it actually does. So why don't you put your knowledge to the test over at MyBookie, where you can bet on everything. Go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 49ERS, 49ers, or scan this QR code next to me, and they're going to match your initial deposit. Put in 50, you get 50. Put in 100, you get 100, all the way up to $1,000. Plus, you can bet everywhere. California, Texas, doesn't matter. I've been in California for years. I've used it for 6 straight years. Easy to get money in, easy to get money out, trusted source, and you can bet on anything you want. You want to bet on politics, any sport, you name it. They've got the casino if that's your thing. You name it, MyBookie is there for you. Now, make sure you use promo code 49ERS to get that double deposit. And MyBookie, bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
All right, let's talk just about the 2015 49ers. This was the Jim Tom Sula. Oh, it's just, hold on. There's a reason why we're talking to them, okay? So we're going back to Chris Forster, and I think this, at least I hope this will help understand or explain why it's not just about the offensive line and sacks.
We were here in 2015. It was an epic season. Jim Tomsula's one season here, and we went in to do an offensive meeting, and we talked pass protections. And my assistant had never coached in the NFL. He goes, "Hey, Furry," he goes, "Man," he goes, "We're gonna have a good year pass pro, man. We're gonna do a good job." I said, "Dude, let's just wait till the next part of the meeting." Got the next part of the meeting. They talked about the routes, and it was the quarterback coach, the tight end coach, the receiver coach, running back coach, and nobody's fault. They'd never worked together, so it was the most disjointed pass game. And I looked at Bro. I said, "Bro, we're giving up 50 sacks this year. There ain't no way. Doesn't matter how well we block them. It's going to take a long time to get this all tied together." And we were uncertain at quarterback, receiver. It was all over the board, and we weren't very good. We got fired at the end of the season as a result of it. We couldn't throw the football, and it's the way it goes. So there's just so many pieces to it. I've almost used up all my time. I can go now. No.
So, all right. That 2015 year was just apocalyptic, and maybe one of the lowest points of a lot of people's fandom. If you don't remember Dennis Erickson, it was just a joke. And, I always get involved in these discussions of who's the worst 49ers coach ever. And almost everybody brings up Jim Tomsula. We went 5-11. He got fired. But I'm like, man, Tomsula was our defensive line coach for like a decade and part of a lot of great teams. So he did a lot of positive things for the 49ers. That year was terrible. So, like, I understand as a head coach if that's just a conversation, but I give Tomsula a little bit of a pass because hold on. I have to do this for my own well-being and whatever coaching career. I mean, this dude was with the Niners from 2007 through 2015. He was only the head coach for 1 year, but like we were dominant during the Harbaugh years at the defensive line because of him. Like, he was a damn good D-line coach, and he was even after us. He was a great coach. It's just never was he supposed to be a head coach, right? That's just not what he was. So you look at that 2015 year, which is just, I'm sorry, guys, this is gross, but we got to take our medicine. We got to. Dead last in offense, 32nd. Our two quarterbacks, Blaine Gabbert, my least favorite 49ers player of all time, 25 sacks. He only played half the season. Colin Kaepernick, 28 sacks. We got sacked 53 times. We had Joe Staley. We had Alex Boone. We had Marcus Martin wasn't very good. But, like, it's not like it was a terrible offensive line. But then you go look, and you're like, okay, who were our wide receivers? Anquan Bolden was awesome. He's not bad. Torrey Smith was all right. We had the General Quentin Patton, Vance McDonald, Sean Drawn. Like, this was our team, man. Bruce Ellington, y'all remember him? Ugh. Carlos Hyde was our number one running back. We were just trash, man. We were trash. And I love the aspect that Forster brings up, like, nobody was on the same level. Nobody was. And so you can protect, but if there ain't nowhere to throw the ball to, you're screwed. You look at this week versus the Rams, they're terrible. They are god-awful, but they have some good pass rushers. They have four good pass rushers, to be honest with you. Like, man, I feel weird saying that, but like, you go look at what the Rams can do. This isn't like a doom and gloom episode, but I'm like, all right, find a way. This is what I used to do as a coach whenever I coached. How do they beat us? Like, all right, what if we transport to the future and somebody tells you, man, the 49ers lost to the Rams. How did they lose? Dude, they got a lot of sacks with Byron Young, Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, right? Braden Fisk. They've got four young dudes whose primary purpose is rush the passer. Now, they haven't done well at it because Aaron Donald's gone. And so that's been a major issue. But, like, if there's one area where it's like, oh, their somewhat strength matches up with our somewhat weakness, if our wide receivers can't get separation against a bunch of literally Jags, just the guys out there that are replacing all the injured players, it could get rough. How do you stop that? You run the ball, play action. That's what it should be. But sometimes it gets rough. Look at Jason. He says, 2015 was great for my therapist. That was rough, man. And whenever everybody's like, fire Shanahan. And I'm like, dude, y'all do not remember Dennis Erickson, Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsula, I remember those times. I don't want to go back there. If I could sign Kyle Shanahan to a 15-year deal right now, I would do it as a 49ers fan. Does that mean I think that he's the greatest and he doesn't make mistakes? No, that doesn't exist. Unless you're married to me and I'm your husband. My wife definitely would sign up on that one. But that's okay. Like, I remember how bad it was. It was so bad. Mike says, Tom Sula, not a head coach in America, at least. Europe, he's a chance. I remember NFL World. Oh, that was awesome. I used to watch that stuff all the time. I loved it. What's up, Salty? Glad to see you, man. I will say this, though. Yeah, those black kits went crazy, though. I love the black uniforms. I hate watching film whenever they wear them. I doubt we'll ever wear them again. My favorite jersey that I own, besides the Jerry Rice one that turned me into a fan whenever I was a kid, you guys know that story, is my autographed Navarro Bowman. That was at one of the 49ers Rush road trip. The black 53 with him side on the back. Are you kidding me? Dude, I will freaking... If I'm wearing that, it's like I'm not a gamer with like the Dungeons and Dragons or whatever it's called. Like, I'm like +5 power. Like, if I could lift weights in that jersey, like, I just feel like if there was a situation that somebody needs a hero and I'm wearing my 53 black and red autographed Bowman jersey, dude, I'm the guy. I could lift the car up in the ditch. I could fight the bank rob. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's how I feel with that. So I'm with you. And a lot of people hate them. I understand that. I'm telling you right now, I love them, and I don't want us to ever wear them again because whenever I'm watching film, you cannot read numbers to save your life. But right here, the black uniforms would have been better if they gave the numbers gold highlights. Yes, it would be even better if we had an alternative helmet to go with it. I love the classic uniforms. I absolutely love, and I know a lot of old hats get mad at this because the Niners have some of the best uniforms that's ever been created. I like alternative stuff, just once or twice, just a little bit. And yeah, I would totally not change our helmets, but I think the helmets hold back just a little bit. I love the gold. I love the red. I love all that, but the SF is cool. I'm just saying, man, I incorporate like a pickaxe. That could be so badass. Oh, that could be so badass. And I go to the freaking Vikings game and they got the skull and all that stuff. And I'm just like, man, how do we not incorporate something like, give me like a big old freaking rocked up, freaking pickaxe dude going, man, we could make this so badass. That's okay. 49ers don't like me. They ain't going to do any of those things. And if they did, the old hats would be upset. That's the way it goes. But man, I have a full chat. I have 2 chats with old football coaches. And all we do is send each other pictures of uniforms, high school, college, NFL. And we argue over them. I spent 20 minutes this morning. I kid you not. I spent 20 minutes this morning arguing over the SMU. Let me see here. I'm opening this bad boy up. Over the SMU. Y'all can't see it. New Dallas, blue throwbacks. Like, that's my morning, and I freaking love it. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. Oh, what's up, Paul? Dude, did you guys know Paul freaking Hope had Patrick Willis on his show this week? Shout out to the UK faithful, man. Absolutely incredible. And yes, I did have a wonderful birthday partying with the faithful. It was incredible. I love it. Yeah. So anyway, that's what it is. Shout out to the Sickness Podcast. So the offensive line issues. Let's put a bow on this. Bowman. All right. I'll see myself out. I know that was terrible. That's okay. The offensive line has issues. Is Jake Brindle good? No. Is he adequate? No. Is Colton McKivitz good at pass pro? No, he's not. So you don't want to invest in the offensive line, top tier picks, maybe just because of how the draft fell or whatever. I don't care. That's fine. How do you support that? How do you complement, right? What's my narrative for this past week? Non-complimentary football. You've got an offensive line. You gave up 6 sacks. How do you complement that behavior to support a positive income or outcome? You run the ball, play action. We had 3 play action plays. Yeah, we ran the ball a few over 20 times. Should be 32. Ant on our Coach Approach show yesterday, I like saying that. I got to get used to it. He said, I want 9 play action plays. I agree with that. You give me 32 rush attempts. You give me 9 play actions. That's 41. You're going to get to at least 54 plays almost always. The rest pass plays, you're cool. Run the freaking ball. And even if Kittle's out, I don't care. Stay in 21 or 12 personnel. Stay big. The worst spot on the Rams team is their damn linebackers with Roseboom and Reader. They're terrible. They're terrible. They're terrible. DFF is better than both of them. That's how bad they are. Take advantage of that. Stay big. Don't leave Colton McKivitz in a one-on-one with Jared Verse or Brian Young on the outside. Don't do that. Chip, put Mason to that side, slide to that side, whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. So I'm not too concerned with the 49ers offensive line. There's going to be a few games where you get taken advantage of. You're not playing against a team that blitzes. They blitz 7 times a game, the Rams, versus what I think it was 31 blitzes that the Vikings did. No, I hate to say it. I'm not a DFF guy at all. I would take DFF over Reader or Roseboom because DFF can cover. That, like, DFF sucks versus the run. He's so bad. But that dude can cover. He had a couple good coverage plays. Roseboom can't cover. Reader can't cover. And Shanahan can take advantage of that. Hopefully Kittle's there. If Kittle plays, I'm betting on Kittle to have a hell of a game. We could use him this week. But the offensive line, Shanahan, do your magic. Do the things that make Kyle Shanahan who Kyle Shanahan is. He's a damn good coach. And I know we've got our scars and we've got our issues. I'm not saying he doesn't have those. He's a damn good coach. He's won 9 out of 10 against Sean McVay in the regular season. Should be 10 out of 11 after this week. You guys are the absolute best, and I'm very thankful for my time with you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This was episode 1217. We got an early show tomorrow morning. I'll try to get it out before all the college football games start, where we preview everything, where we're going to talk about all kinds of crazy stuff with the Rams, our scouting report predictions. Stay tuned with that. Y'all are the best. And until next time, love y'all. Stay strong, faithful.